baby's home. Cairo, Cairo is my baby's home. One bad Cairo night won't be long. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Catch you around and take you off your feet. Shoot you, knock you, teach you and cut you too. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. They get through the graveyard, then for you. Women in Cairo send you down to your grave.
Good evening, good morning, good day, good midday, everybody. And I apologize for being late, but I may even claim that it was worth it because I prepared so much stuff to show you when it comes to the theme for today. Acoustic guitar pickups. I got loads of guitars. I got 3-4 different pickups. They're going to sound different. I'm going to connect them all into the mixing board. And I'm going to demonstrate it for you so we can discuss about what's the best to do. But first of all, yes, David, you were first. Welcome. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Family comes always first, but you were second. Hi, Eric. So I guess you had the time to put the kettle on. Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna have something that's quite similar to the piezo sound, but it's not gonna be the old piezo from the 80s, like MTV Unplugged, with those couple of first shows were just horrendous. Albert, nice to see you. And I'm wondering if you've emailed me about that guitar that you're wondering, the 12th string, or just ask the question here in the chat, so we'll see. Hello, Boyan from Canada. Finally, you caught me live. That's great. So I guess you had fun while you were waiting. That's great. So let me give you the welcome song which is going to be a combination of one Tampa song called You Love Her With a Feeling and Statesboro Blues, just a little version, just a little verse or two of Statesboro Blues, because that song is going to be one of the examples of how pickup sound can be combined with acoustic sound in a recording. But we'll come to that. So, all right, Tampa Ray. When you love a woman, you love her with a thrill. 'Cause if you don't, some other man will. You got to love her with a feeling. You got to love her with a feeling. You got to love her with a feeling. Don't you love it all? Now the copper brought her in. She didn't need no bail. She shook it for the judge, and it put those cops in jail, because she shook it with a feeling. She shook it with a feeling. She shook it with a feeling. Oh, she don't shake it all. Don't you love it all? You gotta love with a feeling. Don't you love it all? Wake up, mama, turn your lamp down low. Wake up, mama, turn your lamp down low. Got the nerve to try to pull both from the door. My mama done left me reckless, daddy done left me wild. My mama done left me reckless, daddy done left me wild. Well, I'm not good looking, but I'm someone's angel child. All right, we'll leave it there. Just try to remember this bass sound. This is quite close to a condenser microphone. No pickups involved, not yet. And they're not going to be involved in this guitar anyway, because I don't have a pickup in it. Nothing under the saddle, nothing here in the sound hole. So this guitar is only purely acoustic. And the reason for that is because the sound hole is so small that these average size pickups for sound hole dimensions, they don't fit here. They're too big, they're too long. So I need to either cut the holes deeper here to cut the, to have some space for that pickup, and just destroy the aesthetics of the instrument, or maybe I'll try to find some smaller pickup. Actually, there is one. So in today's stream, I'll be moving back and forth out of the camera's angles and into the cameras again, because I'll be fetching stuff. So this pickup here is a very special one that I got as a present from Rob Orlemans, who was my guest in the live stream a couple of weeks ago. And this pickup actually belonged to Sam Mitchell. And this is the original pickup that he has in his Dobro from the 30s. And this was his backup. Like, if that pickup's, you know, breaks down or something happens, I'll always have this one. So he left this to Rob. And Rob was kind enough to send it to me because I'm playing the acoustic stuff, and he could have, you know, built this to his own guitars if he wanted, but he didn't. So I got it. And this is 1.5 millimeters too long for this sound hole of this little guitar. Otherwise, it would have been a fantastic combination, but it's not. So that's it. Right, we've come to the backup for today. And we're still only acoustic, so we're going to be doing this one. All right, let's just bring this guitar a little bit closer. This way. This is perfect. So, slow blues and E. Let's do it. 2, 3. All right, so that was the usual shuffly kind of blues, but I threw in some of the licks and some chord shapes that I don't usually do. So I thought, okay, let's change something. So some of the licks were a bit jazzy, some were maybe imitating the old-timey piano players, and sometimes there was something with Brian McGee in there. Let's say when you go to the fifth chord, so I don't play the, not the root note like a C and then B. I choose to play the fifths, lower fifths, as the basses. So and one of the turnarounds was also so basically I went from the first and 0 fret here and then to B, but with a big bass of F sharp. Well, we have a piano master in the chat today, David Hunt, and he's the master of treating the basses in his arrangements. It's fantastic to hear you every time, David. And then also I threw in this kind of jazzy chord change when it comes to, when I come back from the change from the fourth chord, like it goes to, and back to E, and then to, which is a C sharp 7 or 7/9. And then I play this G and F sharp 7, and then to B. One of the turnarounds was also to go upwards. Instead of doing the, I went, right. And then also this lick that I stole from, I think it's Jimmy Rogers from the 50s, the guitar player who used to play with Muddy Waters and Little Walter Jr. This one. Lately. All right, so I need to ask you one thing. Please let me know in the chat if the audio and video are in sync, because I've changed a little bit of the settings, and I know that a couple of people here are using Ecamm. Hey, Mr. Camera Junkie. Louis, nice to see you. So I'm wondering if this is in sync, and this. Great. Well, this led us into the second song, also in E. I kind of like to really nail the same chord and play several different songs in the same key and the same chord shapes to see what can be done within those. So let's just go to Kansas City Blues for a couple of verses. So. Walking down Main Street, going down Beale, looking for the woman. Call and say she done moved to Kansas City. She done moved to Kansas City. She done moved. Honey, where they won't lie you. So, Kansas City Blues, and I've played it as I used to do it before, but I think this is quite new, this part with the basses. So that part was new. So basically it's this, I'm trying to kind of keep the bass going. And I don't succeed every time, but it's kind of... Or, and then this. So I'm going from to the bass of A. I just jump up to the harmonics on the 12th fret. And the rest was as usual. Good. So, the theme for today. Let's jump right into what's going on with acoustic versus amplified sound. Well, the first thing to say is actually this is also amplified sound. It's just amplified the most natural way when you have electronics in between an instrument and your ears through all electricity and magnetic fields and whatever, and the microphone membrane that I'm using. And that's basically the most natural, most acoustic way to play, let's say, an acoustic instrument, guitar or whichever acoustic instrument. And I was trying in the early days when I started playing live. I was very determined to play only acoustically, but me and my band, which was an acoustic band, mouth harmonica, guitar, mandolin, and two of us sang. It was like we always ended up in noisy clubs, or we were opening act for electric blues band, and they were used to very high volumes. So I started with acoustic sound of course, and I had a great role model of John Hammond Jr., who always played through his whole career through an SM57 dynamic microphone, which is one of those standard microphones that you have in every studio, on every stage. You always have one of those microphones, either to use as a microphone for the drums, or to mic up the amplifier sound, or if you're Joe Cocker, he sang through SM57 on Woodstock in 1969. So it's a very versatile microphone. It's fantastic. And John Hammond plays with that microphone very close to the guitar, and he knows all the necessary techniques to play with a microphone in front of the guitar. So maybe I can just go back and show you this part. Let's say if you have just an average microphone, one of my microphones that I'm using here, I'm not going to pick it up because it's going to sound awful in your loudspeakers or in your earphones. I'm just going to kind of try to show you. The microphone is pointing somewhere here between the 12th and the 16th fret of my guitar, somewhere there, and then turn towards the sound hole like this, which means that it is grabbing the sound of the sound hole, that microphone, that it's coming out, but it's not going directly to the sound hole. Because if I did that, here's the first example. Now I'm like maybe 20 centimeters, that would be 8 inches, right? 8 times, yeah, some around 7-8 inches in front of the microphone, and it's pointing right at my sound hole. It sounds like this. When I play for you a little bit earlier, I had it like this. But if I come closer and to the sound hole, then it's... So that's the difference. In live situations, this would be totally impossible, because as soon as you start raising the volume of of a guitar that's amplified with a microphone right in front of a sound hole, you can get a lot of boomy bass. So what they usually do is that smart and educated sound guys and girls usually roll off a frequency of around 250 hertz, which is those deeper mid-range, middle frequencies, and you roll them off maybe 2-3 decibels less than the middle, let's say to 10 o'clock, and that's usually enough in order to get rid of those boomy basses. And usually those the boomy basses come on the notes of A or B. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to emulate this here in this, because this is a very controlled situation. I don't have such a high volume on the microphone anyway, but that's that sound, right? So I have something to show you when it comes to acoustic pickups, a variety of pickups that are on the market today, which is, as you can see here, I just pulled up a web browser with a test of, let's say, the best acoustic guitar pickups of 2022, and some of these are very old, some are maybe newer, and it's not my idea to go through all these pickups. It's more that I'd like to show you some of the shapes and how they were made and what they are based on. Let's say this in the upper corner, upper left corner, and yes, you can see my mouse good. This is a type of a pickup that I have in my guitar, and I'll show you a little bit more in detail later on. This pickup here, this is actually a preamp or the booster module that comes to the end pin jack of the guitar where you plug in your cable. And but the pickup itself is just a thin stripe of a material that can be coaxial pickup, it can be condenser bubbles like the B-band, which I actually have in one of the guitars here tonight. And there's also this early Seymour Duncan pickup that I actually used to have once upon a time. And this up here is a LR Baggs Anthem mic pickup for the acoustic guitar. So if I just scroll here, you will see that this LR Baggs consists of one undersaddle pickup, which is this one, and then there's this little module that's actually glued to beneath the bridge of the guitar. I'll show you on their website exactly how it was done. So that's one of the best pickups for somebody who plays very clean acoustic sound without too much punchiness, without playing slide guitar, because that's one of the most important aspects when it comes to me and how I pick up my pickups, because I want them to sound good on slide. So that's this one. And then we have this Fishman Power Tap Infinity, this pickup here, which, as you can see, it's quite similar to the one up above, the way the pickup that I'm using, because that's the same idiom that started actually with Sunrise pickups that came in late 80s, beginning of 90s. And I have that big pickup in one of my guitars, and I'll show you that as well. But this is the specialty with this one, is that if you see these parts here, that's a very sensitive, it's a sensor that senses the body of the guitar, which means when you put it in your sound hole, it's actually registering your sound hole's vibrations from when you pick the strings, which can be very good because it gives you that a bit more acoustic dimension of the sound, but it can be very prone to feedback, as sometimes you can have problems with EQing that guitar sound, because if you lower the basses to avoid too much transparency of this sensor, then you lower the bass on the whole sound, because everything is just mono. This is not any separate signal that you can divide and put like two different signals into your mixing board. So yeah, there's another pickup that's very similar to this by LR Bags. It's called M1. So this is this old Seymour Duncan. Actually, it's a pickup that's mounted in a wooden box. Doesn't have anything to do with the acoustics. They say it does, but it's kind of quite boxy sounding. I never really liked that one. So this is this LR Bags that also has sensors here in the sides of where you mount it in your guitar body. And I had that for about a year. I've tried everything to make it sound good, but I just didn't like the sound. That was it. And then this sensor was so sensitive that I had to kind of isolate it by putting some stuff, dampening stuff in between. And then it was, what's the point in using a pickup that you have to tame and work with too much? So I just stopped doing it. Right, so this is the Fishman Rare Earth, also one of the magnetic pickups. No sensors here where it's touching the sound hole, and there are no pole pieces, which means that you cannot adjust the volumes of the strings you're using. On this pickup, you can do it, and on many others, and definitely on mine that I'll be showing you. And this is the EMG. That's actually just a rip-off of the Seymour Duncan and the rip-off the old Sunrise. That was the first pickup of this kind and this shape, and with these pole pieces for each string. So this is the Marzio. This is one of the latest models, Black Angel, that came a couple of years ago. I don't have any experience with this. I've never had it, but all of these pickups above that I've shown you, I had those. As I said in the introduction of this on YouTube, it's like I've purchased with my own money basically every acoustic pickup that was on the market between 1980 and 2005. I just bought them all, tried them out. I always lost money when I was selling them, because when I buy them, I usually buy them from the States, and then you have to pay for import taxes and everything, and then you sell it used. Of course, you can never get that money back, so I kind of lost half of the money on each pickup that I bought. But that's it. This is actually a very good pickup. I haven't bought this one, but I've tried it in a friend's guitar. It's very good if you play at places where you don't need the high volume, when you have a listening audience, and where you have a good PA system, and definitely a good preamplifier that you can EQ the sound, just work with those basses, middles, trebles, and the transparency of the sound that you're sending out from the guitar. But it's a very, very acoustic, natural sound. This is just a transducer mic that you glue on your guitar. No, never use that. So this is a controller of the LR Bags, and then the rest of the stuff I'm gonna show you in this one. This is one of the earliest pickups that I used. This is a Martin Thinline pickup. This is a piezo, as you mentioned, Patrick. And no, I don't like the piezo sound. It's too harsh, it's too mid-rangey. You need to work with it, I don't know, too much. So let's see what we got here. That's a start page. That was nothing. But I have another page that I prepared for you. So this is Sunrise. And this this homepage for the Sunrise pickups is very strange. They don't even have a picture that shows the pickup, how it looks, but I'll show you in my guitar. Product information, you see it here a little bit in the Richard Thompson's guitar. Many very famous artists are playing Sunrise and have been playing it since late 80s and beginning 90s. If anybody remembers Michael Hedges, when he showed up, he played Sunrise pickup because it was the only pickup that could really give him the sound he wanted when he was tapping on his guitar. Where's my... So Michael Hedges was doing a lot of this effects at the same time, about and so on. So those percussive sounds were not possible to get through the PA when you were playing live if you're using, let's say, undersaddle pickup, because this undersaddle pickup here is only picking up the sound that's coming from beneath the saddle and a little bit of the rest of the guitar body, depending on how sensitive it is. But usually this up here, it's not really so audible when you play with an undersaddle pickup. And I do have an undersaddle pickup here, but I'm actually not happy how that sounds at all. I couldn't get it to a nice volume, but I'll show you in my other guitar how that sounds. But let me show you Sunrise pickup in one of my guitars. So this is how it looks. Or maybe I should show it here. Yeah, it's better. So it's got 6 pole pieces that you can adjust the height depending on the strings you're using. And you can see here, if I show you like this, let's try to get some focus here if it's possible. So let's say this, or maybe I can show it here. The pole piece for the 3rd string is much higher than the rest of them. I'm really not sure how this is visible. Maybe you can see it well. Yes, you can see it like this, right? So one of the pole pieces is really sticking up because that's the only way that I can get the strings to sound even. And these are actually just the phosphor bronze strings that should work with every pickup, but Sunrise is that kind of pickup. You really need to work a lot with your pole pieces and definitely with the sound. So let's have this guitar as the first example of how it would sound. All right. Wish me luck. Let's see. So I hope this is not going to be too loud compared to the rest of the sound. 1, 2, 3. So now I turned off the acoustic microphone. Now it's only the pickup that you can hear. This is a very small guitar. If I show it to you from here, right? Compared to the big baby, this is the little one, this is the big one. And this is a guitar that Michael made for himself, just to have around in his house and play it. And actually, you can disassemble this by just removing the strings, and then there are 2 IKEA screws inside here, and you just unscrew the neck and put it in your backpack, and it's a very small guitar. It's got a wonderful sound. It's very high pitched, so you don't tune this to a regular, let's say, E. This is actually G open, but it's tuned up to C. So this actually is a key of C. I don't have a strap, so it's just hanging here and I can't really play. But that's actually the sound of the pickup. I have no processing on this channel. What I usually do with magnetic pickups, that you will need to add some reverb in order to make it sound a bit more natural, because the microphone sound, if we just switch the sounds, so now I'm going through the microphone. can hear the sound of the room. It's the whole reverberation of the room is coming through the microphone, and it's not so dry compared to this. Is a very concrete sound, and I actually really like it. It's a good pickup. I've used it for at least 20 years, and I still have it in this guitar. So whenever I play this one on any occasion when I'm jamming with somebody, I just want to bring one guitar and have it for. I can even tune it down to standard tuning. I would just use maybe heavier strings with that. But that's it. So let's just add a touch of reverb to this. So this would be this microphone. That's giving it a bit more life, right? Good, so we're done with this pickup, and I'll just turn it off. So that was Sunrise, and let's go back to the web browser, and then I'll show you the next. So this is this LR Bags Anthem combination of undersaddle pickup, which is going. There are two wires here. The white one is going through this little hole and underneath the bridge. So the saddle, where the strings are resting, is actually pressing down that pickup. And then this other transducer, or this is more of a microphone than a pickup. And it's placed in this little capsule, and those both signals are combined and go out through this output jack. I'm not sure if they developed this into the stereo system where you could divide the two signals and then tailor each one of those on separate channels on the mixing board. That would be just perfect, because that way you can apply equalizer that's needed to each of the pickups separately. Otherwise, it's very difficult. My pickup that I'm using in basically all my guitars, except for this one, Seymour Duncan Mag Mic, that's a mono signal out. So if I add basses, I'll add basses to everything. Oh, okay, I'm running too fast now because I don't want to reveal the most important thing about my pickup. So this is Anthem with LR Bags. A very good pickup, and maybe I think, do we have, it's very low, I think, let me know if the volume of this video is enough. Yeah, anyway, it's a good pickup, very good, but I didn't like the sound of it when I played slide through it, and that's a bummer. So now we're coming to my own microphone that I've been using for many years. I think they came to the market for around 15 years ago, maybe, and I think I bought it directly just to try it out. And here are the reasons why I love this microphone. First of all, there are 12 pole pieces, which means you can use it on a 6-string guitar, you can use it on a 12-string guitar, where you can really tailor the sound for each of the 12 strings, which is very important for me, because when I play 12-string guitar, and one of these days, I guess I'll I'll make a reissue of my 12 string guitar setup, which I love because I don't usually use it the way other players do. So I don't always have these octave strings. I play the first 4 strings of these, let's say on my 12 string guitar, are just a double 4 strings. So same gauge all the way through, and only on the 5th and the 6th string I have an octave strings, but they are very thick as well, so I have a very full sound of the 12 string guitar. And one more thing about this pickup is that it's also got a condenser microphone. Here's the volume for the condenser mic, and here's the volume for the pickup, the magnetic pickup. So what you do is that I usually have this all the way up, and then I add a touch of the acoustic sound, which I'll demonstrate for you now, so you can hear it. And this is how it looks. And I don't think they have the picture of the pickup underneath, because that's where you see where the acoustic, where the condenser mic is sitting. Basically, it's underneath here, in this area, on the treble strings. And there's also a little video that we can maybe try to play.
I've been using the mag mic for
Oh, this doesn't. No, it's interrupting, so something's not really working. But basically, that's how it looks. So I think I'll just demonstrate for you how the pickup sounds. And I'll play for you both in my acoustic guitar, this regular acoustic, and in the baritone guitar that's tuned quite deep. Let me plug in the pickup, the cable. I'll plug in the cable for the pickup. So now I'm not using the microphone at all. This is only the pickup sound, and let's start without the reverb. Right, I would mix this sound with any other sound of any other pickup. I can recognize this in my sleep. It's like, I know exactly this boomy, nice and warm basses. So let me know what you think in the chat, how this sounds, just like right out of the bat. And I'm not even using the microphone. So if I just knock on my guitar like this, this is picked up by this vocal microphone as well, of course. But if I do it very softly, that's it. And now let's add the acoustic, the condenser mic. So if I go all the way up, it's going to be very harsh. But since we don't have so much volume here, it's not going to be too loud in your ears, so to say. So this is with the full volume of the microphone as well. And now when I knock on the body of on my guitar, see the pickup is really picking up all the nuances of the acoustic sound. Now I'll just roll it off totally. This is without it. Now with the pickup, with a condenser. And now I'll roll it off to exactly where I usually have it, and that's around here. So I would, if I have a listening audience, not too noisy club, that's where I would. So these trebles are coming from, the soft and nice cozy trebles are coming from the condenser mic. And And these are both coming from the same cable out, so it's a mono sound coming out, which means if I need to work with the sound on the mixing board, I have to be aware of I'm adding the basses to both sounds and maybe the trebles on both sounds, especially the mid frequencies can be tricky. But right now I'm going through the Rodecaster Pro 2 without any equalization. Everything is turned off. It's just no processing at all, just to show it like this. And then I'll just add this reverb. So let's go. This is a bit too much. So let's see. This is too much. Maybe. Yeah, like this, just a little bit. So if I play the Kansas City Blues, maybe you haven't noticed this, but I haven't made a mistake now when I was playing with this pickup sound, because I'm so used to play this live with a pickup sound in my ears and everything. It's just the memory in my fingers just came right back, and I knew exactly how much to press, when to do it, and I wasn't even thinking. So that's the advantage of a really, really good pickup. And another thing, I'll show you the slide. So now I even have the microphone on. Usually I would roll off the microphone maybe totally when I play a slide, but when I play with the Maria and we do Blue Stay Away From Me, I have this introduction lick that goes like this. And Blue, stay away from me. Why don't you let me be? Right, but Maria's playing the basses and the chords and everything, so I can really concentrate on the slide. But it's very nice. But if we have any trouble with the PA system, noisy place or whatever, I just roll off the microphone like I did now, and then it would sound like this. It's really beautiful sound. So, but now I'm gonna play the same pickup but in another guitar. I have a tip for anybody doing things like this, live streaming with instruments being kind of connected and in and out and all that. I have this special cable where you have the switch, on and off switch. So otherwise your ears would suffer when I change guitars and pickups. Right, so this is my baritone guitar, and I will add very little of the microphone. So let's go, this is this one. So, roll off, now the microphone is not on, but if I add it, it's coming here, right? So on the baritone guitar, when I have quite a lot of basses, adding a condenser mic can also add some nice projection. So it's like the trebles would be nice but not so punchy like on an average guitar, which is tuned in a regular key. And of course, we can agree that this does not sound acoustic, but it sounds, for me, especially when I play live, this is bigger than life. That sound is just fantastic. Oh, Patrick, no, this is not Love's Dream. This was actually an old gospel tune by Reverend Gary Davis, and it's actually a ragtime song the way he plays it, but I played it kind of this laid back, old-timey. Hallelujah, hallelujah, I belong to the band, hallelujah. And then the lyrics come and all that. Yeah, it was an improvisation of Around Love's Dream, which would be like... So this was a magnetic pickup sound, and no, oh yeah, a little bit of condenser microphone added to the sound. So just to show the difference, 1, 2, 3. So this is back to the acoustic sound. Of course, it's a beautiful sound, nothing about it, but what I'm using, it's a condenser microphone, a small membrane. It's like this. It's not even an inch. It's a very small membrane, and it's a cardioid microphone, which means that it grabs you from right in front of the microphone, very little from the back and very little from the sides. So these microphones are Octavus that are used in many studios all around the world. They have all kinds of different pickups, and I have a matched pair. And today, right now, I'm using one of those because I needed another channel for the pickup sound. Otherwise, I use these two, panned a little bit left to right, and then I don't know if that's obvious in the live stream that it's a stereo sound, but it is. So what else do we got? Yeah, this one. This is a Sandon. The model is called R14. Also a small-bodied guitar compared to the big one. And that's also the reason why I want to show this is that if I play this guitar through the microphone, it sounds like this. So if I just do the same with the Kansas City Blues. This guitar is made of mahogany, so it's a very mid-rangey, very punchy. It's very right into your face sound, compared to my big regular guitar that's spruce top and East Indian rosewood in the back and sides, which is much smoother. You need to work that guitar a lot in order to get the good sound out of it. So let's hear now the pickup sound. And the pickup sound only. And if you hear, so this is an under saddle pickup with all the advantages, pros and cons of a under saddle pickup. the pickup adds to this guitar is actually that it sounds much bigger than it is. So the basses are much more prominent, and actually this is very easy to tame through a good PA system. So my daughter played this live a couple of months ago on a big stage, and it sounded great. I just don't like that you always need to fight the disbalance in between the volume of the strings when you have. It's enough to change strings, or it's enough that one of the strings break and then you have to replace it, and then it loses the tension where the strings are pressing on the saddle. And some of the strings can be a bit harsher or louder than the others. So let me just demonstrate this. You see, the B string is a bit flatter, not flatter in the key or the pitch, but it's kind of, it's not prominent as the first one. It's less volume on that string. When we come to the third, somehow the fifth string, the A string, is kind of popping out more than the rest of the strings. So when I play it, I have to hit the strings a bit harder in order to make the pickup to compress a little bit so that it's more even. So when I play it like I have to admit that I pick the bass string harder than I pick the fifth string, because I know that, okay, that volume of that string is not enough. So it's too much of a drag when you play live, especially if you, where's the art and where's the relaxed performance if you have to think about a string that's not so audible compared to the others, and you're in the middle of the maybe solo, or you want to tell a story, you sing a lyric. No. So that's why I just stopped using these pickups, and this is a pickup that was in the guitar when I got it. So it's like, well, okay, let's keep it there. It doesn't, destroy the sound acoustically, so it's fine. And I have one more little demonstration to make, and that is this one, the Metal Baby. So this is the acoustic sound, and then I'll demonstrate the pickup. Sitting down in the parchment farm, that's the acoustic. Now let's go to the pickup sound. No, now it's a pickup sound, sorry. Hallelujah, hallelujah, out and on to the band, hallelujah. So it's carrying the sound, and what I like about this pickup is that if I just turn the, so when you do this, if I do this acoustically, sorry. It's a bit better, but it's not too far from the acoustic sound. And the reason for that is this pickup. This is a Kent Armstrong lipstick pickup from the, I think, early 80s. And it's been in production since, I guess, 60s, 70s. And it was used in electric guitars. But Sam Mitchell and I mounted this pickup in both of our guitars, exactly to same tricone Resophonics, and we had exactly the same sound when we were playing live. And now I'm going to demonstrate the last module for today, which is how does this sound combine with the microphone sound so you can hear both of them. So this is the pickup sound, right? So this is the pickup sound. Now I will add the condenser microphone in front of me. Now we'll disconnect the pickup. And now I've added the pickup. So this combination of pickup and acoustic sound is something that I've been using live whenever I could. So if there's a good PA, if the sound engineer is friendly and everything, then I always say, look, I've got my sound, it's really great, but if you have a good condenser mic that we can place just in front of it, maybe we can just make even better sound. Usually they're nerds just like I am, so they like that. So we usually get really, really good live sound. So these two sound sources combined, what we gain with adding the pickup is that the basses become more prominent. If I had any problem with trebles, there's this, let's say if I disable the microphone, now it's on the pickup, and I have two controls here. One is for the volume, and the other is for the tone control, which means, let's see which one was the volume. No. So this was the volume, the first one. I usually just play them straight and full volume, and that's it. But if I have problem with trebles, with a bit of feedback or something, on the pickup side, then I can roll off the bass, the trebles, and it will sound like this. Almost no trebles, right? Now, with the trebles, now roll off. But listen now when I add the microphone. The basses become a little bit muddier than before because they also need a bit of those higher frequencies. But if we meet somewhere in the middle, then it would be this sound. I'll turn off the pickup. This is only microphone now. So listen how much of a beautiful bass we add by combining these two sources. And then of course you have this on the mixing board, you can always tailor the volumes. Let's say I would maybe in this kind of very controlled situation from my home studio, I would maybe even roll off a little bit on the pickup sound to have it sound even more natural, but I would maybe add this a touch of the basses. And that's what actually happens when I combine these two sound sources. So all of this time from January up until today, I was only playing through these 2 octave microphones. All the sounds you've been hearing were just acoustic sounds, nothing else. And I'm not sure, maybe I'll just continue using the pickup as well. But since this is about acoustic slide guitar and the whole thing is acoustic, maybe I'll try to even use other microphones to show you how that can sound. Actually, I have one of the dynamic microphones that I can just put down here and show you. So now I disconnected both the microphone and the pickup. Now it's only this little microphone that's in front of me, and you cannot see it. Oh yeah, you can see it a little bit. This is that microphone, right? So it's MV7 dynamic microphone with a very moderate gain input. Actually, it's made for my voice to speak very close to it. But let's play the guitar very close to it. Disadvantage of a dynamic microphone for the guitar, for the instrument, is that it needs to be really close to the guitar body and to the guitar strings. If you add a lot of input gain on that microphone, you might also add some noise, and that's not really good. But usually in the studio I would combine the sound of a dynamic microphone and a condenser mic, basically more of a condenser mic. Let's see what Patrick is saying. Yeah, thank you very much. So David agrees with Patrick that sounds, big smile. Yeah, thank you. So on the Continental I usually used a mag mic Inc. Oh, okay. That's great. I'm actually interested in knowing how you mounted the magnetic microphone on the guitar. I've seen somebody mounting a magnetic pickup above the strings, so it's not built in like this, like mine. It's put on a kind of some holder that's attaching to these holes up here and down here, and then the pickup is actually coming towards the strings from above, so you need to be careful not to hit it. But yeah, great. There's one little thing that I plan to show you, if I can just bring it up, the music. So if you listen to this Statesboro Blues, I hope this is audible.
Wake up, mama, turn your lamp down low. Wake up, mama, turn your lamp down low. Have you got the nerve, turn a poor boy from your door? My mother died and left me reckless.
So this is from Sam Mitchell's and my CD, Statesboro Blues, where you can hear his guitar. When you hear the basses, that's his guitar in open G, and he had the pickup lined out into one of the channels on the mixer, and the other microphone was just a SM58 dynamic microphone in front of the guitar. So we combined those two sound sources for his guitar, but my guitar was only acoustic. And we did the same thing in 2 or 3 other songs in this Sitting on Top of the World that I'm playing always at the end of the live streams. Sam is also playing the guitar plugged in, and that's also one of the reasons why his slide sounds so smooth, because there's a little of a magnetic mic touch to it, magnetic pickup. So, and this is Sammy's solo record where he also uses the same way of recording. So listen to this.
Packing pallets in a factory, working for the minimum wage.
Right. I don't want to play it longer than this because of the copyright claims and all that. I've already got one live stream taken down because of that, so I have to fight that claim. Because there were two companies that claimed copyrights on the songs that I was playing in the intro of the live stream, and one of them pulled it back, their copyright claim, and the other one still haven't responded. And that's the live stream that I did with Bert Divert, mandolin and guitar player, a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, that's it. So that was the reason I wanted to show you this, exactly how it was played and how Sammy and I did it. So lick of the week, very briefly. I went way beyond the hour because I started a little bit later, and this topic is really important and very deep. So I hope you'll cope with just one more minute about this. So this is an open D. I started showing you this melody of the song River of Jordan by Blind Willie McTell. So this lick is on the last week's live stream. So what I wanted to do is just to show you a little bit of a development of, like, if I only play the melody and a little bit of the chords, then it would sound like this. So the basic of the rhythm in this song is still finger picking. It's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the beauty of Blind Willie McTell's playing is that he always had this kind of a jumpy rhythm behind even the most loving melodies and very deep. This is not a fast lick, by any means, but the way he plays it on his 12-string guitar is like a. So this little addition of a punchy rhythmic playing, where he actually dampens here, like it. So that's where it comes. So this would be a melody or the rhythm of the song if we would play it all the way through the whole song. But the reason I'm including this as a lick of the week again, and just a bit more advanced when it comes to rhythm while you're playing this, and a little bit of these percussive effects, is that how important it is in an arrangement to actually not play all the parts of the rhythm. Because when you just hop over and a couple of those and utilize the spaces in between the melody lines to only then emphasize the rhythm, that's the beauty of this arrangement of things that you can play, but you don't have to. If you play it in one of the rounds, maybe you can just not play it in the next round. Maybe I would start the song with only playing the melody and the chords, like I showed you first before I implemented the rhythmical part, And then I just put in a bit more advanced in the next couple of rounds. So in the second chord, so I only played 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, and not the whole. Right. So that's the whole idea with this lick of the week this week. Try to not play everything within a rhythmical pattern that you play in your arrangements, and fool around with that. And that will finally conclude today's live stream. I've shown you, I played a nice welcome song for you. I've shown you some stuff. I've shown you several of my guitars with different pickup sounds, and we agreed that the combination of a magnetic pickup and a good condenser mic can really make wonders in the live sound alive like this, and definitely when you play live through a PA system and on a scene. And I really enjoyed doing this. It was really cool. So, yep, that's it for today. I hope you'll find the time in your busy schedule to join me next week. It's the same time, 9 p.m. Central European Standard Time. And thank you so much for coming. And let me know if there are any questions. You can email me to homesickmac@gmail.com as well. And just a little reminder that I'll be teaching next, it's not next month, it's in November actually. I'll be in, let me see. That's right. So I'll be teaching in the UK, in the Wolverhampton. That's a difficult city to pronounce. It's very close to Bristol, and there are lots of good flights from Europe, direct flights basically from all the European countries. Not for you American guys over there, but you're more than welcome if you have the time and want to join us. It's 3 days of tuition. I'll be working with fingerpicking lessons and working with arrangements for 3 songs that we pick up, and it's gonna be fun. So thank you so much for coming, and I will see you guys next week.
It was in spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, thought she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Things could call me up, down and out by soul. Said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, now she went away. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top